third Nexus before core build.
Yeah, this map always makes me sad that it got removed from the map pool. Okay, so I have my dog sitting on my lap to try and get quiet, but now she's getting all caught up in my headphones, so I'm like very tangled up at the moment. There we go.
The dog cast. It's all good.
Basically what she's been trying to do with her box all night.
Alrighty, so here we go. We are into game number 2 here in this best of 9 format, GSTL style format, clan war between iVn and TCP. We started off with a win to Nova X from iVn, so he's going to go into this next game here on Metropolis, and we'll see if his new opponent is going to be able to deal with him. But we're just waiting for all of that to load up. While we're waiting for that, I'll fix up the overlays. What we got? D-O-M-I-N. That'll do. Okay. So, starting at the left-hand side at the 9 o'clock position, for iVn will be our red Zerg player. It is Nova X. And his opponent up to the 12 o'clock position here on this, as we said, very awesome map, and a bit unfortunate it got removed from the ladder, is Dominator. So, tell us what you think about Metropolis.
This
Why
map.
were you sad it was removed?
So, I think both. I just love everything about this map. The reason it was removed because it was causing some lag problems. But that's like part of the reason why I love it, because it's such a beautiful map and it's got so much detail everywhere.
Yeah, you've got like these fancy little boards and things everywhere, and I'm pretty sure the iPod Marine is somewhere. Where is it?
So many
I don't know. It's somewhere.
It's
Real men
down the
drill
bottom
deep.
right base. The bottom right base has the eye pistol.
Oh yeah, there it is, the eye pistol thing. Pretty cool thing that they added in there. But yeah, anyway, it's speaking of real sorts of things that go on this map. Of course, it is a very big map. We've got quite easy to take natural base here. As we can see, you've got a reasonably sized area to try and defend here. You've got to put down some sort of wall along this area, and then of course you can knock down the destructible debris. If you want to do a full wall off, you can certainly do that. You can then get rid of the destructible debris later, or if you'd rather, you can get rid of the rocks down at the third base and sort of head out from that position. As a Protoss player, use your third as your entry point, just this a much bigger ramp here. But of course, for a Zerg player, it's also a bit of a heaven as well. You've got a very easy to take natural. The third, very close to take as well. Just need to get rid of that destructible debris that's in the way. Also, of course, the fourth on the way, and the fifth even further away. So of course it's a bit of a Zerg dream in a way, because virtually any time you play this map, your expansions are going to be going away from your opponent, which is always the way you want to do it as a Zerg player. But of course, for our Protoss play, he's going to go Forge first into Nexus, just making sure everything's nice and safe, giving him the options of putting on some cannon pressure if he so desires. But for the moment, Nova X should be fine to get his own. He will get this third hatchery down. Of course, he did actually take his third base much quicker than he took his natural. So,
yeah, that was actually a really fast third base. Bit of a lucky move there, because he even did that before making Zerglings. All the point is trying to get those hatcheries down straight away, which is a really nice play. With that though, it does lead to the small supply block, as he doesn't have the minerals to both get the third and the Overlord, but getting that, I think, personally I'd be fine with that, because you get those extra 3 lava up in that later bit straight away.
oh my. Nova X loses his scouting Overlord, was actually sitting just over the
Is
cannon
that what
when it
happened to
finished
it?
up. Yeah, that was not the greatest sort of way to start off the game there for Nova X, but as we can see, Dominator going to do... He's talking about how he thought they were Ferrari Lords, which they certainly are, but unfortunately not fast enough. Cybernetics core goes down, the Nexus is now finished up, double gas inside the main, and we'll have to keep an eye on what Dominator's going for, of course, because there are the options of the Sentry Immortal push on this map. It is a very tight map. You've got, generally speaking, very narrow sort of corridors. As we can see here, you can utilize force fields really well to sort of segment your army or the Zerg army. and just make sure that you're well protected. And of course you can then find a way to head into the third base and do some pressure coming from this angle. What you want to do perhaps then is force field off this ramp, protect that while you take out the third, but of course the Zerg will be looking to stop that if they can see that coming.
It's a really interesting map for the Sentry Immortal, because on one hand it's extremely narrow, especially in these close air spawns. You don't have to do the big cross of the map, so you can always make sure that you got your back to a wall. But on the other hand, it is a very long travel distance, so if the Zerg can be doing baiting force fields from the really early stages of this map and trying to bait it throughout the long distance, then they can have a really good chance of holding that. But if it's like fairly uncontested for the most of the journey, then that Sentry Immortal is so effective.
Yeah, it looks like I'm thinking perhaps maybe some DT action here. He got his third and fourth gas reasonably a little bit quicker than I would have expected for that kind of build. He has now gotten a Twilight Cancel, and it looks like, yep, this probe sitting here probably going to start that Dark Shrine. There it is.
This Overlord coming into the base now is on a scouting path to meet it, and it should be able to catch it before the Stalker is able to kill it just through the edges of the vision. We'll definitely see the Twilight Cancel, and I expect that it should be able to see the DT Shrine.
Yeah, looks like he's just going to get... Yeah, he should just get in range to see it. In fact, he may catch exactly what's down there.
Yeah, there we go.
Able to click on
everything there.
Yep, there he goes. He did click on it, so he does know that the Dark Shrine is on the way. Now we've got to be, you know, very wary of what Dominator is going to do about that. Is he going to perhaps do a cancel and a switch into something else, or is he just going to let it go and try and capitalize on the DTs for the start of the game? Of course, the best way to use those DTs, if you have been detected already, is just for map control. Take the Xel'Naga watchtowers, maybe poke in the third base, see if you can get any damage done here, but we probably won't expect Dominator to actually get too much damage done now that NovaX knows exactly what's going on.
Yeah, making those, as you're saying, just for the map control bit, making one, maybe two DTs, and then you also have that as a defensive tool, that if he does attack, he's sure to bring Overseers, but at this stage of the game it's very common to just bring a single Overseer, so if you've got Stalkers and Cannons that can target that, then those DTs are worth their weight in gold for the defense. But NovaX with very nice defense, of course, after scouting that, making sure to have a Spore and Spine Crawler at every base. Not in his main, but he does have a nice wall off at his natural, so... And since there are no drop, no robo for a drop, then yeah, these DTs won't be able to do any real damage.
Yeah, he's going to split them up. He's going to send one inside the third base. May get a couple of drone kills, maybe two.
Ooh, that wall wasn't actually complete, and one does get into the main. There are Overseers out, but they're not at the main right now, so the one in the main is probably the one that could do the most damage. But he's not targeting properly. There he goes, now he's targeting. At first he was hitting the Queen, but targeting straight onto these workers is the best way to do this. Yeah, and that will definitely be a nice hit. Yeah, both Overseers were sent to the third base, which definitely wasn't needed since the Spore Crawler is there. So a small mistake by Novax, that's going to be costing him a fair bit. To get a bit of better control on this DT would be nice. At this point, either go for the ones on the gas or go hide the DT somewhere in the base, but it's probably too late to hide it. So it's going to try and run it out. But it does get killed, but all in all, 8 workers were killed. So a nice small harass, considering that it was scouted, you know, so that's a bad situation.
Yeah, I think it was better than what should have happened, you know, because it's kind of like, well, he saw everything that was going on. He even had NovaX even had an Overlord that saw this pylon across to the right-hand side, and still the DT's got 8 kills. I'd sort of think that's not too bad at all, considering that, you know, they really shouldn't have gotten anything done. But of course, as you said, the wall was not properly finished up there. A couple got inside the main and the nat, and then of course one inside the third doing some damage there. So not too bad for Dominator. He'll be pleasantly surprised with the fact that he got some damage done there, I think. And as we can see, it looks like he is going up for the Immortal base push to follow this up. Not going to go for a third base. So this is a particular build that I've seen. If you guys know, Baby Knight does a bit of this kind of thing. You open up with some DTs, see if you can get some pressure on, and then just go for an Immortal based push. And the advantage of it is that you can have Blink added in, but it looks like he's not going to go for that. He is going to go for +2, however, and he's probably going to try and time this out with that. So we'll see him push out in around about a minute or two. We'll have to see if NovaX is prepared for this. He only has, he doesn't actually have a huge force of units just at the moment. Only 17 Lings and 5 Roaches, but we'll see if he can scout out what's going on. Maybe if he can figure out from the fact that the third has not even been attempted to be taken just yet, that he might get a little suspicious about that.
Yeah, and I'm curious to say, I've done pushes some. I got a build very similar like this, right, to a DT opener. Usually go and try and take out a base with some workers, followed by a Sentry Immortal push. But I always love mixing in a couple Archons with that push. You know, still using that DT tech, which work great against the Zerglings. And if they have got any sort of mute attack, then of course they work absolutely great there.
Yeah.
Right now, he has been investing all of his gas into those sentries to get a good, strong count of them.
Yeah, not too many, but not too little. He's got 6 of those at the moment. Goldilocks would be happy with that. As we can see back at home, the Dominator is now fully walled off the front door here, so there's going to be no run-bys for the moment. What the interesting thing is that the probes were so far behind. Well, there it is. He's got one just coming along now. Going to get a couple of pylons down to get that rolling, and he will be able to reinforce. But of course, the issue is that sort of delays the timing on this coming through. So we'll have to see if he is able to get anything done here. The Lings now heading towards the back. Their speed is just about complete. They do have +1 on their weapons and the Carapace as well, which is going to be not bad for them.
That delay really was lucky for Novax, because it meant that he could get +1 and the speed ready to help out this. But as the engagement goes, they are getting themselves positioned in the choke as the Lings come around for the flank and being attacked from every side. But such a strong army of so many Stalkers and Forcefields being able to get dropped, cut off the army from one side. Zerglings targeting the pylons, trying to stop any sort of reinforcements. Probably not the best call. 2 strong pylons still set.
Yeah, very nicely done by Dominator, just to sort of keep his army together, keeps it all as one big whole. Of course, the better way to try and fight as a Protoss player against the Zerg, as we see some really nice force fields going down, splitting up the Roaches, the Lings coming in from the back, coming in to flank those units. They do get rid of one of the pylons outside the main attack force. Perhaps if they can get that secondary pylon just up to the side there, he may be able to stop this in time. But it does go down, and it cancels a bunch of DTs at Warping. Was that what that was? It was. But look, everything is still alive. We've still got the 3 Immortals at the moment. There was no extra pylon coming in to help out with reinforcement. So effectively, Dominator is just here with these units at the moment.
But as you're saying, still got all 3 Immortals. He lost 2 sentries throughout that push, and he's still got a very healthy number of Stalkers. So he's still looking really good, and he is sending more units across the map. He hasn't sent a second probe yet, but he is continuously reinforcing this from his main base. Yeah. I think, though, the longer that he waits, the more trouble he will be in, with Novax having that instant reinforcements with the defender's advantage, and Dominator not taking advantage of pylons.
Yeah, he's got a Warp Prism just about to pop out, as we can see back here at the main base. There it is. She's going to come along and help out with the reinforcements, but as you said, perhaps not capitalizing on the position he has. +3, interestingly, is just about to kick in for all of his units, and maybe with the Zealots, if they can get in a good position to tank, he may be able to sort of hold up his units, but no way. Is he going to go try and elevate her in the main base? I don't think that's going to work too well.
I don't think so, but that would be
way
amazing.
too slow.
And move up 4 Stalkers at a time.
Yeah. So he is going to move through here. The Zealot's going to try and fend off those Lings to the side. Beautiful force fields down to the southern edge, and he will force most of those Roaches to run around and just do absolutely nothing, while inside the main, the Queen goes down. As we can see, the Observer, interestingly, also goes down, but the Roaches are swelling in their numbers. As we can see here, we've got a total of 24 out there, 11 more about to pop. And Novax, is he able to hold this off? I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell right now. I think he's going to have a little bit of trouble, given that those Immortals are still alive. Sentries are all but dead. Not much energy left over in the ones that are there, but it looks like Dominator, is he going to be able to hold this?
Really nice play from Novax during the beginning of that engagement is he did have the Queens on the high ground targeting that Warp Prism. So once again, the Warps are coming in from the main base, but he wasn't targeting the Immortals until the very end of that fight when he had a couple opportunities to. It's only now has he just dropped the second Immortal, so 1 Immortal left, a strong number of Stalkers with +3, and the second Warp Prism has made its way to the front of this battle.
Yeah, that should be it right there. I mean, as long as he can warp in just a couple of Stalkers at a time, Dominator should be in a very good position. You know, it doesn't even really need force fields because there aren't too many units coming in to try and counteract this push. Queen's coming in from the main base, not really getting too much done. They get targeted down. A quick smart Warp Prism now, right in the face of Novax, and that means that things are going to go very, very crazy shortly. The Queen coming up from the third and tries to target down the Prism, doing a nice job. In fact, she may actually get it. But I don't think that's going to change too much because the natural base is now dead. Queens have been dying constantly here. It's insane. And it looks like the last of those units there. The +3, keep in mind, was really helping out with Dominator's push there. So despite the fact he was a little bit late to the party with some extra reinforcement ability, but he was still able to capitalize on that position. So really nicely played there in the end. Did push through with the +3 weapons, of course, those Immortals staying alive for quite a while. And we will see TCP take a win there. So it does go to 1-1 at the moment in this clan war. It is a best of 9. And we'll see what comes up next. Tell us what you thought about that game.
Yeah, as you were saying from the beginning, just it all came down to, I think that, not all came down to it, but such a nice move getting that one DT into the main, doing a lot more damage than it ever should. Wasn't the hugest game changer, but it definitely was effective. And if anything, it might have just started throwing Novarex off. Because when you scout that DT shrine straight away, you feel really happy knowing that, hey, he's going to be fairly far behind.